Welcome back to Life Worth Chasing. I'm your host, Chase Maher, and this show is about helping entrepreneurs build their business around their dream lifestyle. So I've been asked this topic before. I've been asked this question before. I've seen it on posts. I've seen it on social media. And the topic is centered around the question of how do I get better at business? Or how do I get better at being an entrepreneur? What business books should I read? What entrepreneur books should I read? And I think the answer that I come up with and that I see pretty often from people that I really admire how skilled they are and how unique they are and how well they run their businesses is there's no specificity in business. And what I mean by that is business is not a skill. Being an entrepreneur is not a skill. Think about a laborer, somebody that's plumbing or somebody that's doing siding or drywall or I'm in the real estate space, so those are what I'm thinking about. How can they increase their hourly rate? It's not by reading a business book, it's not by reading an entrepreneur book, it's not by any of that. It's by becoming better at their skill, at a coveted skill that's very niche and specific. So, to answer the question, how do you become a better entrepreneur? You first must look at what skill set you have and what skill set you need to go far in the niche that you're in. So, step one is to build a skill set. Maybe you don't have a skill set right now. Maybe you do. If you don't, then you'll really love this episode because I'm going to talk a little bit about types of skill sets and which ones are very important. If you do already have a skill set, you'll want to double down on what you're good at. And we're going to be talking about that as well. But first, I want to talk about the definitions of business and skill. Business, an organization or economic system where goods and services are exchanged for one another or for money. Skill, the ability to do something well, expertise. Now, if you think about the top entrepreneurs, they are experts at what they do. They're the best at what they do, and they dominate that space. They're either number one or number two in that space. If you think about the best businesses, where they're an organization or economic system where goods or services are exchanged, those businesses are the best at what they do and they dominate a space. But one has to come before the other. The skill of the owner, the skill of the actual entrepreneur comes first. So think about that in the niche that you're in. Think about how can you double down on the skill set and first grow that and be the best at that, then build your business from there. Okay, so let's talk about types of skill sets. And they generally fall into three categories: creative, technical, or communicative skill sets. And we want to go super deep into that, not wide. We want to be specific about that as well. Now, specific knowledge is highly specific to you, the individual. What are you obsessed with? What situation are you in? What problem are you looking to solve? To think about it in a more simple way is, what are you a natural at? Everybody's a natural at something. What are you told all the time that you're really good at? What have you been told you're a natural at? What comes easy to you? And instead of thinking that you're already good at that, so you need to become good at everything else, we must double down on what we're good at, and then we hire out what complements us. That's how you build a business. So if you think about business owners that are the best at what they do, they're typically the best at one or two skill sets that fall into the creative, technical, or communications realms, and then they hire out everything else. But they first became the best or one of the best at that specific skill. We want to combine the specific knowledge with what has the least likelihood or the least chance to be automated and to be taught at mass. So let's talk a little bit about those skill sets. Creative. Creative is photography, filmmaking, artwork. And if you look at the top in those industries, they are very well paid, but they don't bog themselves down with the sales of their products, the administrative work of their products, the distribution of the products. They stay the top in that industry. They stay with creating. Now, technical will be a carpenter, a coder, a technical builder. And then lastly, communicative. This is personally where I fall into. And I'm talking sales. Maybe it's high ticket sales, phone sales, B2B sales, public speaking, podcasting, anything that is in the realm of communication. Now, each of these creative, technical, or communicative have areas that can be automated, have areas that can be taught at mass. But the more specific we get and the deeper we go into the skill set, the less the likelihood of being taught at mass and being automated. So once you've established which skill set you'd like to build or which skill set you're already in, now we want to focus on being the best at it, dominating, niching down, and then expanding from there. We also want to focus on where are the largest problems in that industry. So I don't know all the creative, technical, and communicative. I don't know all the problems in those realms, but here's an example for communications. There's a massive wave of people selling courses, people selling coaching programs, and typically the people that are building these courses have a specific skill set, and people that are coaching have a specific skill set. But what I found is they lack in sales, for example, and they have to hire out people that are closers, people that are good at sales. That's a specific skill set. Here's another example. You have a lot of doctors and attorneys out there that are very good at what they do. They have a specific skill set, but they lack the ability to generate leads. So there is quite a blowing up industry right now of lead generation. People that are great with ads, people that are great with sales and funnels. So each of these niches has little sub niches on those, and you want to think about what are you a natural at? What are you drawn to? And keep doubling down on that and hire out from there. You've established what you're a natural at. You've established what you're obsessed with. You've established what comes easy to you. And now you're ready to double down, or you've already been doubling down on that. And you're asking yourself, where do I go from here? So we definitely want to keep learning. We definitely want to keep building that skill set. But you might have gotten to the point where you can't break through that barrier. And this is somewhere that I had been stuck at the last few years. So now it's time to hire out what you're not good at, what you don't enjoy doing. We call this leverage. You can either leverage people or you can leverage with systems, and you want to expand from there. So I'll give you an example. I've been building the skill set of sales and communications for as long as I can remember. Growing up on a car dealership, selling cars, in college, was taking a lot of communications and public speaking classes, being a fraternity and working on speaking then San Diego, selling real estate, selling courses. And so sales is something and communication is something that I've been building for quite a long time. Writing, talking, selling over and over. But I started to realize that I couldn't break through that income barrier past the low six figures because I lacked in administrative, I lacked in organization, I lacked in lead management. And I knew that if I wanted to keep going, I needed to study leadership, cost control, and marketing. And so now what I'm doing is I'm leveraging hiring out administrative work, lead management roles, sales roles, and I'm studying daily on leadership, cost control, and marketing. The sales skill, you build it up, or any skill set for that matter, you'll build it up to the point where it's habitual for you, to where it's automatic for you. And then those are the items that I truly believe will take myself and you to the next level: leadership, cost control, and marketing. Now, I want to end it on the note of it's okay to not be where you want to be with your business. And I say all of these things from personal experience because I put so much pressure on myself to be further along than I am. And that pressure is good, but what's not good is killing yourself over it. What's not good is beating yourself up over it and getting down on yourself. And so, literally, almost daily, I'll catch myself in moments of dwelling on, I didn't do this right or I didn't do that right. And it all comes back to me for, am I building a skill set that will translate? Am I building a skill set that can't be automated, that is recession proof? And my answer is yes, I am. I'm further building my skill set of sales and communications, building my skill sets of marketing and leadership. And to me, those are skill sets that can't be automated. Those are skill sets that are recession proof. And those are skill sets that translate. So as I build the current business of real estate acquisitions, I can translate that and literally copy and paste it to other businesses. Thanks for listening to Life Worth Chasing with me, your host, Chase Maher. If you like the show, smash that subscribe button, leave me a rate and review. You know what? Screenshot the show, share it on Instagram, tag me at I am Chase Maher, and I'll repost it. There's hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and you've made the decision to listen to mine, which is so cool. I'll see you on the next show.